Please welcome the former undisputed heavyweight champion and the current defending WBA heavyweight champion of the world. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the one and only Iron Mike Tyson.
In the history of boxing, only a handful of names rise above the sport itself. Two of those names are Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr. One was the most feared heavyweight of his generation, a human wrecking ball who ended fights in seconds. A fighter who walked into the ring like a storm and left his opponents unconscious before they even knew what hit them. The other, the most precise defensive genius the sport has ever known. A master technician who made world-class fighters miss, look foolish, and paid dearly for every mistake. Iron Mike Tyson, Floyd Money Mayweather. At first glance, the idea of them fighting each other is absurd. Tyson outweighed Floyd by more than 100 pounds. They lived in different eras, fought in different divisions, and represented opposite philosophies of boxing. But here we are. In 2025, the boxing world is buzzing with the shocking announcement that Tyson and Mayweather will share the ring in a special exhibition bout. It's not a sanctioned clash of primes. It's not about rankings or records. It's about legacy, spectacle, and a question that's lingered for decades. What if these two icons ever met inside the ropes? So today we dive into both realities. The fantasy fight, Tyson versus Mayweather in their primes, same size, no excuses. And the real exhibition, what it means for boxing, the fans, and the legends themselves. To understand Tyson's side of this fantasy, you have to return to the mid-1980s, when boxing's heavyweight division was desperate for a new hero. Enter a young man from Brownsville, Brooklyn, where violence and poverty weren't exceptions, they were the norm. Mike Tyson's childhood was chaos. His father abandoned the family early. His mother struggled to raise him. By the age of 13, Tyson had been arrested dozens of times. He was headed for a life in prison, or worse. But fate intervened when he was introduced to legendary trainer Cus D'Amato. Cus didn't just teach Tyson boxing, he gave him purpose. He molded Tyson into the ultimate weapon, teaching him the peekaboo style, gloves high, constant head movement, and explosive bursts of power. At just 20 years old, Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, demolishing Trevor Berbick in 2 brutal rounds. That night wasn't just a win, it was a statement. A new era had begun. What made Tyson terrifying wasn't just his power, it was his speed. Heavyweights weren't supposed to move like that. He'd slip under your jab, step inside, and unleash hooks and uppercuts that looked like they were fired from cannons. Between 1985 and 1989, Tyson was untouchable. He unified all the heavyweight titles, bulldozed legends like Larry Holmes, and destroyed Michael Spinks in 91 seconds. A fight hyped as the Battle of the Ages. Opponents weren't just beaten, they were broken before the bell even rang. Tyson's stare-downs were legendary, his eyes locked, unblinking, radiating menace. As he later said, "I want to break my opponent's will before they even throw a punch." But Tyson's career wasn't without turbulence. After the shocking upset loss to Buster Douglas in 1990, his aura of invincibility cracked. Prison followed. Later came battles with Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, and endless controversies outside the ring. Yet, no matter the chaos, Tyson remained larger than life. He wasn't just a boxer, he was a cultural phenomenon, the living embodiment of raw, unfiltered aggression. If Tyson was pure chaos, Floyd Mayweather was absolute control. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Floyd was practically raised in the gym. His father, Floyd Sr., was a tough welterweight contender. His uncle, Roger Mayweather, was a 2-division world champion. Boxing wasn't just a sport in the Mayweather family. It was destiny. Floyd's amateur pedigree was sparkling, capped by a bronze medal at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. But it was in the professional ranks where he became something else entirely. Early in his career, he was known as Pretty Boy Floyd. Fast, sharp, aggressive, he racked up knockouts and dazzled with hand speed. But as time passed, Floyd transformed into Money Mayweather, a defensive genius whose fights became chess matches disguised as combat. His record is flawless, 50 wins, 0 losses, titles in 5 different weight classes, victories over legends, Oscar de la Hoya, Ricky Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez, Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, But numbers don't capture his brilliance. What set Floyd apart was his mastery of the shoulder roll defense. He could stand just inches from you, slip punches by millimeters, and counter with laser accuracy. Where Tyson overwhelmed opponents with violence, Floyd suffocated them with control. Fighters grew desperate, their punches missed, their confidence drained away. By the late rounds, many looked broken, physically fine but mentally defeated. Outside the ring, Floyd was a businessman who turned himself into boxing's biggest attraction. His fights weren't just sporting events, they were global spectacles. He redefined pay-per-view economics, becoming the highest-paid athlete in the world. If Tyson was fire, Floyd was ice. And in our fantasy matchup, those elements collide. Despite both men being retired, they remain active presences in the sport. Tyson shocked the world in 2020 when he fought Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition that drew millions of pay-per-view buys. Fans were stunned. At 54 years old, Tyson still had the speed, the movement, the flashes of ferocity that made him a legend. Mayweather, meanwhile, has turned exhibition fights into a personal playground, taking on Conor McGregor in 2017 for one of the richest events in history, then later facing kickboxers, influencers, and MMA stars in global spectacles. And now in 2025, the two paths finally cross. Tyson and Mayweather, two of boxing's biggest names, will share the same ring. No one expects a prime-for-prime war. Tyson is nearing 60. Mayweather is pushing 50. But that doesn't matter. This fight is theater, history, and fantasy colliding. It's not about who wins. It's about seeing the impossible happen. And it raises the stakes for our central question. If these two legends were the same size, in their primes, who would really come out on top? Let's compare them on paper. Mike Tyson, prime, height 5'10", weight around 218 pounds, reach 71 inches, record 50-6, 44 KOs, youngest heavyweight champion in history. Floyd Mayweather, prime, height 5'8", weight around 147 pounds, 154 max, reach 72 inches, record 50-0, 27 KOs, 5-division world champion. On paper, this isn't even close. Tyson outweighed Floyd by 70 to 100 pounds, depending on the division. A real fight between them would never happen. But fantasy fights aren't bound by weight classes. They're about styles, about asking, if these men were the same size, same weight, same division, whose skill set would truly reign supreme? That's where the debate explodes. Tyson's peekaboo style was built for destruction. He crouched low, slipped inside, and unleashed furious combinations. Hooks, uppercuts, and body shots delivered with terrifying speed. His goal was simple: close distance, corner you, and end it early. Against fighters his own size, Tyson's blend of speed and power would still be a nightmare. But Mayweather's style was designed to neutralize aggression. His jab disrupted rhythm. His shoulder roll absorbed punches. His pull counter punished mistakes. He thrived against fighters who overcommitted. Here's the dilemma. Tyson's intimidation and aggression forced many into panic, but Mayweather never panicked. He gave away early rounds if necessary, studied opponents, and then dismantled them with adjustments. So if Tyson couldn't break Floyd early, could he keep his composure against a man who turned offense into a liability? Boxing isn't just physical, it's mental warfare. Tyson often won before the fight even began. His aura, his stare-downs, his reputation as a knockout artist. It crushed opponents psychologically. As he once said, fear is your best friend or your worst enemy. It's like fire. You can use it, or it can consume you. Mayweather, however, played a different psychological game. He wasn't trying to scare you. He was trying to humiliate you. Fighters came in confident and left confused, swinging at air, unable to touch him. By the middle rounds, frustration set in. So the question is, would Mayweather be immune to Tyson's aura? Could his icy composure withstand the storm? Or would Tyson's relentless pressure crack even the most disciplined defense? Mike Tyson, strengths. Explosive power, especially early. Blazing hand speed for a heavyweight. Relentless pressure, superb finishing instincts. Mike Tyson, weaknesses. Reliant on early dominance. Struggled when forced to adapt. Composure broke down when Plan A failed. Floyd Mayweather, strengths: unparalleled defense and adaptability, exceptional ring IQ and composure, ability to nullify aggression with counters. Floyd Mayweather, weaknesses: low knockout power at higher weights, relied on pace control, struggled against swarming pressure, sometimes started slow, giving away rounds. Keys to victory: for Tyson, cut the ring, corner Floyd, and land early. The longer the fight drags, the more dangerous Floyd becomes. For Floyd, survive the opening storm, frustrate Tyson with movement and counters, and let discipline outlast fury. The Tyson-Mayweather exhibition isn't prime versus prime. It's not even about competition. It's about nostalgia, entertainment, and the continuing evolution of boxing as spectacle. For Tyson, it's another chance to show the world that the fire still burns, even at 59. For Mayweather, it's another opportunity to showcase his skills, earn another massive payday, and cement his reputation as boxing's ultimate showman. But beyond the money, this fight represents something deeper: boxing's ability to bring eras together. Fans who grew up in the Tyson era, who lived through Floyd's dominance, now get to see their hero share the ring. It's a reminder that legends never truly fade. This fantasy matchup isn't really about who wins. It's about what they represent. Mike Tyson was the face of boxing in the late 1980s. He made heavyweights terrifying again. He gave fans the thrill of instant destruction, the promise that anything could end in seconds. Floyd Mayweather was the face of boxing in the early 2000s and 2010s. He redefined the sport financially, turned fights into billion-dollar events, and left undefeated, a feat nearly unheard of at the highest level. Tyson gave us chaos. Floyd gave us mastery. Tyson burned bright like a supernova. Mayweather burned long like an eternal flame. Both men changed boxing forever, just in different ways. So here's the question. In the fantasy fight, same size, same prime, who wins? Tyson's storm of violence or Floyd's ice-cold mastery? And in the real world, what do you expect from their 2026 exhibition? A showcase of skills? A fun sparring session? Or maybe, just maybe, a flash of the old magic? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more deep dive breakdowns into boxing's greatest legends. Because debates like this remind us why we love the sweet science, and why legends like Tyson and Mayweather will live forever.